Howdy. Today we're looking at Shedu. I actually think I did Shedu a little dirty. I didn't do a video on it, but I did talk about it briefly in one of my live streams. And I should really look back because it did so bad and I don't know what I did wrong because now it actually does damage. I don't know if I like had a freaking extinguished key equipped or I don't know. I really don't know. I couldn't even get it to work with armor stripped grouped enemies and gas damage. I don't know what I was doing wrong, but I was definitely doing something wrong. I still hold the belief that Bubonic is better, or at least I personally think it is. But Shidu's actually not a horrible weapon. It's usable, viable even. So I've got two main builds right here, but I'm actually also going to show it with Hunter munitions, I think, probably. Though with Hunter Mumu, you do have the problem of not having something good as far as arcanes go, because dexterity. I mean, you can keep dexterity up if you're getting melee kills, especially if you have like a glaive equipped or something. But glaives are getting a little boring for me, and on top of that, wait, where is? Here we go. You also, I know a lot of people like don't have glaives built or they don't like to use them either. So I don't think it's realistic to say, oh, you should be running this. I'm gonna put Amalgam Serration on, Hunter Mumu, and then we're going to one viral damage. So it ends up with heat viral and electric viral. I would say probably, yeah, dexterity would be the way to go, but in this case, we're going to go merciless because dexterity is annoying to try to keep up in the simulacrum. So this is what we have right now. Not the greatest build ever, or at least for this weapon. I like Prime Shred here because fire rate is nice, helps balance out critical delay, and the punch through, even though it has AoE, still lets it hit more enemies to get more damage on like grouped up enemies. Now, in case you're wondering for Warframe wise, nothing is affecting our damage there. So this will be better if we can actually build up our stacks. I suppose maybe I should armor strip them first and get some kills real quick. I'll hold them in a couple times. I'm going to do that just so that I can build up my merciless stacks right away. And my other freaking stacks or whatever. There we go. Ah, shit, I forgot. Now I have to wait for that stupid zone to go away because my duration is too high. Fuck. Well, 3, 2, 1, yada yada yada. There we go. We're losing all of our stacks pretty quickly, but we've got more than 0. That's what matters. So it does okay damage. It's not bad. It could be better. There's certainly better weapons out there. If you group enemies up, it is going to be a lot better since, well, it's got the AoE, plus with Prime Shred, it's also got decent punch through. So you'd be able to apply a lot more AoE viral and heat, slash, and electric, and, you know, the typical stuff. I don't think this is the best way to use the gun, but if this is how you choose to, it will work in most places in the game. Pretty straightforward. So then we're going to be looking at this build right here. This is Corrosive. We have Deadhead, because it's actually not hard to get headshots with this, and the headshot multiplier is nice, and keeping up the stacks is much easier. Galvanized Scope is in this build because we can easily get the crits all the time. Then, you know, the rest is pretty straightforward. We actually don't need Amalgam Serration here since we have Deadhead for most of our flat damage. So we could switch this out for something else. Like if you wanted more mag size, since the base magazine is pretty horrendous. Put this on, now we're sitting at 10. Or since we actually have heat damage on the weapon because it's inherent, you could go farther in on the heat and slap on thermite rounds. So now we have even more corrosive heat. We'll go ahead and do this now, corrosive heat. If we do get dot kills, that's not going to give us deadhead from, you know, heat dot kills, which is unfortunate, but it shouldn't be a big issue. We should be able to get the kills just fine. It's going to take a second because we obviously have no flat damage right now until we get the first deadhead kill. I should have put on Unero so I could... Do I have... No, I was going to say I could armor strip the first enemy just to build up a stack real quick. Damn, I did not get a deadhead stack there. That's... What if we... There, I only tagged this side of the map's enemies. Damn, even now it's still... You need those deadhead stacks for damage at all. So maybe Serration is probably easier to keep up here. You don't have to run deadhead, but it's going to give you more damage in this scenario. Assuming you can keep the stacks up. In mission, I don't find it to be an issue when there's so many, like, fodder enemies that you can easily just one tap to the head. Find it actually super easy to keep it up. There we go. Now, you can see it does fairly decent damage. It's doing actually much more damage than the Hunter Mumu build was. And if you had green shards so that you could full strip with the Corrosive, that would actually be really good because it's got a pretty big AoE and good status. So it spreads Corrosive procs quite effectively. It is a very, very juicy weapon. Now, since it has inherent AoE, plus we can go Prime Shred for some punch through, and it has good status chance and not horrible base damage, you can actually build it for gas damage, which I like. I've been showing gas a lot lately in my videos. I know it's pretty unfair since we're armor stripping, right? And anything can kill an armor stripped enemy, but this can kill like a whole group in just like the gas clouds built up. Or, well, anything with gas can. Which is very nice. We're going to run Unero, so we have the armor strip real quick. Then I'm going to switch to Rhino with Ensnare. I know Rhino, we're not casting Roar, don't worry about it. The only sort of thing we're using here is Ensnare. Oh wait, I have to take off Avenger and Discipline. There we go. And then no pet still, so the gas build is exactly the same as the other build for the most part. Serration here though, just so we get the extra damage, because elemental damage does not affect gas proc damage. And this also makes it easier to get our deadhead stacks first. Still a very straightforward build. I hate that the dispos on this is 2. I never see people use it, yet it has a dispo of 2. It should be at least a 3, probably a 4, but I don't know. I guess I don't know the usage statistics for it. I'm gonna go ahead and armor strip this guy just so we can get our first kill much easier without having to wait 10 years. I like to shoot it till it's about to be empty on the mag, and then let it reload instead of having to deal with... Actually, I'm going to get a few stacks. Instead of having to deal with the horrible reload, because when you shoot all the way and it does that little blast, then, well, you know, it takes freaking forever, which is a pain in the ass. There we go. Now, none of these guys are armor stripped. Hold them in. It's not going to do a ton when they aren't armor stripped, but I will show it without armor strip. This is no external buffs and no armor strip. Pretty mediocre, right? It's not really killing anything, which will change after Jade Shadows and the armor gets heavily nerfed and gas no longer has negative damage against armor. But for now, not amazing. But armor strip is usually required in most places in the game anyways, so I don't think it's asking too much to use armor strip. So, now we reset them, because you can really just ensnare and unero on literally any Warframe in the game works. That's it, like ensnare. Wow, I totally missed somehow. What the fuck, it bounced. There, ensnare, unero, there you go, you're done. Damn, almost all of them died in a single shot. Almost, but not quite. And we have no external buffs, literally just grouping and armor stripping them, and it almost killed them all in a single shot. And we can, you know, obviously shoot them multiple times. Shedu is much better than I gave it credit for. I have to admit that I was very, very wrong. It's a fun weapon. I've always loved the weapon. I used it a lot when it first came out. I just never thought it was that great. And I really have to look back at the stream. I can't remember which stream it was, but whatever one I was talking about it, and I tried to show it, how it was awful. I built it wrong somehow. I don't know if I was just like schizo that day, but whatever, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Shidu. Very strong weapon. I really like it. And as with all gas-built weapons, it's going to be pretty insane after Jade Shadows comes out. I'm fairly confident of that. So if you liked the video, then maybe subscribe and leave a like. That would be great. Adios.